by electronic participation and improvement of the Pusson's Community Center. We're going to have two meetings today. The first meeting is a committee of adjustment, and we're going to finish that meeting up, and we'll go into the Planning Development Advisory Committee. So let's start with the committee of adjustment. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I'll do a roll call, and if each one of you sort of give a 30 seconds snippet of your background so that it's available on record for anybody who wants to make reference to us in the future. So we'll start with Chris Picard.
Short bio for me is I recently retired as a director of facilities for Crown Agency. Prior to that, I practiced architecture and recently retired that license as well. Experience primarily in the public sector, but also some private sector experience as well.
Thank you. Okay, Paul Sadra.
Sure, thank you. Paul Sadra. I work in the commercial lending space. I'm a leader at one of the banks. I work with mostly medium to large businesses for finance and advisory.
Okay, we'll go on to you, Jeffrey Bourne.
Hello. My background is construction and development, planning and development in the commercial construction industry. And most recently in the residential, multiple residential industry. And I recently retired as well.
Thank you. And I'm John Sapoulis, counselor in the township of Pusson's. Okay, so let's get on to the next item. It's a moment of reflection for about half a minute. So we can just have a moment of reflection. Okay, thank you. So I'll continue with the notes. Please note that the meeting is video audio recorded and all electronic meetings are uploaded to Ms. Carroll's YouTube page. By registering to participate in a meeting by electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded and posted on YouTube. In addition to the members of the committee, we have our municipal clerk, Courtney Lloyd Fox. We have our secretary treasurer, Lynn Banks, and we have Joanna Solberg, a planner from the county of Wellington. So may I have a mover and a seconder to confirm the agenda? Moved by Chris, second by Paul. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Sorry. For the normally which resolution? Sure, we'll do that next time. Yeah. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Do we have any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Okay. So the approval of minutes, you would like to read that? Okay.
Certainly, that the Committee of Adjustment approves the minutes from the meeting held on February 14th, 2023.
I have a mover and second, moved by Paul, second by Chris, all in favor? Okay, thank you. So let's move into the application for minor variances. The purpose of this hearing is to inform and provide the public with the opportunity to ask questions or express views with respect to minor variance application before us today. The township requests that you please notify the secretary of the committee by email at lbanks@pussons.ca if you wish to be on record or would like to be notified of future hearings and decisions regarding the application. The format of this hearing as follows. Staff will present the information report, specifically outline the purpose of the application, summarize compliance with the township notification, submission requirements, and outlining staff comments. The applicant will present the purpose and details of the application and any other further relevant information. Following this, the public can obtain clarification, ask questions, and express their views on the proposal. You have a maximum of 10 minutes to speak. Following this, the members of the committee can likewise obtain clarification, ask questions. Then the committee will deliberate the application and render decision. The decision be subject to the 20-day appeal period. So we move into the first application for minor variance. It's minor variance application B13 COA, Brian Cody and Angela Leo, 7262 Gore Road, Session Gore South, Park Lot 29, Township of Person relief on new comprehensive zoning bylaw 23-2018 as amended from section 4.4.2 accessory buildings and structures table 4.1. The purpose and effect is to provide relief from section 4.4.2, table 4.1, to permit a shed to be 1.83 meters from the interior side yard rather than 2 meters as required. Okay, so would you put up the sketch, Courtney? And then would you please summarize the application, notification, and submission requirements, outlining staff, agency, and public comments and recommendations?
Notice of the application was given in accordance with the provisions of the Planning Act. Notice requirements for the application have been met, and the following comments were received. The township's fire departments, building department, and public works department all had no concerns. It was circulated to the GRCA. They had no comments on it. They stated that's under the Hamilton Conservation Authority, and it was circulated to Hamilton, and we did not receive any comments from them.
Good, thank you. So Courtney, would you please have the owner applicant join the panel to present your application?
Chair, I see them both here and I'm prompting them to promote the panelists. I'm not sure if they need to do something on their end to do that, but I've attempted it a couple times.
Hey, Brian, we see you there. I don't know if you can hear us. And we likewise see you, and we're allowing you to talk, but you don't seem to be coming through. Brian, you're muted.
Okay, sorry. First time using Zoom.
Okay, Brian. Could you please state your name and address for the record
Brian Cody,
and address?
7262 Gore Road, Gooselinch, Ontario.
Minor variance application. Brian, you seem to be having some static in the background. Do you have more than one speaker on?
You know what? I'm going to turn off my computer and just do this on the phone. Can we do that? No? No?
Still there, Brian?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Having some interference there with the phone and the computer. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So, could you present your application, Brian, please?
And what way do you mean that? Just for what I'm asking for?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, basically, I'm about 200 millimeters closer to the property line as opposed to what's required by Puslinch of 2 meters. I'm 1.8, and I'm looking to see if that's an issue for anybody in terms of me putting a shed there on that concrete pad.
Okay, let's see if there's any registrants request to speak, Lynn.
No, Mr. Chair, we did not receive any.
Okay, Courtney, would you please canvass the audience, see if there's anybody who'd like to speak to this item?
If there's any attendees that wish to make comment, if you can just use the raise your hand feature. It's located just at the bottom of the screen. There's no hands being raised.
Okay, great, thank you. So, let's go around the table. Chris, we'll start with you. Any questions or comments?
No questions, no comments. Thank you.
Okay, how about you, Paul?
No questions. Thank
How
you.
about you?
No.
None, and I don't have either. So let's take it into the committee. So I'll read, do we need a discussion on this? No, not we're good. Okay. So I'll read the actual documentation and we either say we approve it or we oppose it or defer. And I don't see any conditions on here, Madam Secretary, so we're good with that. So we'll start with the actual wording, the matter section 45 of the Planning Act as amended and new comprehensive zoning bylaw 23-2018 as amended, and the application for Land Grants requesting relief to permit a shed to be 1.83 meters from the interior side yard rather than 2 meters as required. The request is hereby approved, opposed, or deferred. So we'll start with you, Chris.
I would approve.
Okay, Paul. Approved. Jeffrey. Approved. And I approve as well. Okay, so this is subject to a 20-day appeal period, so it's conditional until 20 days elapse. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you guys very much.
Move on to the agenda. New business 8.1. Lynn, would you like to?
Have a good evening, guys. Thank you.
Then would you like to read the recommendation? Or,
Certainly, Mr. Chair. So the report is to the Committee of Adjustment and Planning and Development Advisory Committee. And it is regarding the alternate chair schedule in the event of the chair's absence or vacancy. So the recommendation is that the report regarding the alternate chair schedule in the event of the chair's absence or vacancy be received. And that the committee adopts the alternate chair schedule in the event of the chair's absence or vacancy as outlined in this report. The purpose of the report, it is expedient for the committee to pass a resolution that defines when committee members shall act in place of the chair during the absence or vacancy for the duration of the 2022 to 2026 term of the committee. Members of the committee are appointed on a monthly basis in alphabetical order starting in April 2023 to act in place and instead of the chair during an absence or vacancy. And the background is that the township's terms of reference section 6B sub 2 states that when the chair is absent from a meeting, the acting chair may exercise all the rights, powers, and authorities of the chair. The acting chair will be identified based on a schedule prepared for the full 4-year term. Under those guidelines, the alternate chair will be each meeting during the 2022 to 2026 term as set out in the attached schedule to the report.
okay, so I move in a second to discuss the report. With Chris, second by Paul. Okay, so let's go around the table. Any questions or comments? Or Chris?
No, this was quite clear. Thank you.
Paul?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Jeffrey?
Thank you.
I only have one question. There's a absence. For consistency, go to the next person on the list.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, it would bump to the next month, and whoever that alternate is.
Great, thank you. Okay, so now we move in a seconder to, this, moved by Paul, second by Jeffrey, all in favor? Yep, great, there's, the chairman of the committee adjustment, you want to do that?
Certainly. That the Committee of Adjustment hereby adjourns at 7:16 PM.
Mover. Paul, second by Chris, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, let's move into the next meeting. Okay, so I'd like to call the Planning Development Advisory Committee meeting to order. There'll be one consent this evening. And basically, again, the same note that the meeting is video and recorded, and all in person and electronic meetings are uploaded to municipality's YouTube page. By registering to participate in a meeting by electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded on YouTube. So let's do a roll call. Chris Picard.
Here.
Paul Sidron.
Present.
Jeffrey Bourne.
Present.
Connecticut Council Johnson Bruce and present as well. We have a moment of reflection. Thank you. Lynn, would you read out the confirmation agenda?
That the committee approves the March 14th, 2023 agenda as circulated.
Mover, Schaefer, move. Second, Paul, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, let's, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Do you have any disclosure of pecuniary interest on this item?
None.
None? Chuck? Okay, thank you. Delegations. I assume we have no delegations. Consent agenda, then would you please read that?
That the Planning and Development Advisory Committee approves minutes from the meeting held on February 14th, 2023.
Mover. Chris, second by Paul, on favor, thank you. And there are consent items now. No other consent items and no notice of public meetings and reports. So let's move into the reports, the line division rather consents. And I'll read out the wording and while I'm reading out the report, would you please put up the appropriate drawing. 9.11 severance application, B13-23, also known as D10-MAS, Christina and Gary Mason, for lot 20, concession 4, municipally known as 4668, Side Road 20 North, Township postage. Proposed severance is 65.4 meter frontage by 65 meters, or 0.43 hectares, vacant land for proposed residential use, retained parcel of 7.2 hectares for 341 meter frontage, existing and proposed agricultural use with existing dwelling, barn, and pool. Okay, so would you please have the agent or owner present your application?
Okay, this is Jeff Buseman here at Van Hertens. My video is not working for some reason. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Jeffrey. Please go ahead.
Yep, okay. So this is a severance on Forest Hill Road as it turns into Side Road 20. You can see the Hanlon Expressway on the right-hand side of the drawing. The severance is a proposal for a parcel of 65 meters wide and about 65 meters deep for an area of 0.43 hectares. We are accounting for a road widening that's been typical of any of the severances along Forestel Road, so that they match a required width of 25 meters for the whole width of the road relative to the limit on the north side. We found that the proposal meets the requirements of MDS, has a safe entrance, and meets the requirements under the secondary agricultural policies. Pretty straightforward severance, and be happy to answer any questions or comments that the committee might have. Thank you.
Lynn, were there any agency comments received?
The only comments we received, Mr. Chair, the township's building department, fire department, and bylaw enforcement department all had no concerns. And Public Works advised that the road allows us under the jurisdiction of the city of Guelph.
Okay, Lynn, were there any registrants received to speak?
No, Mr. Chair, there were not.
Thank you. And likewise, were there any written comments received from the members of the public?
No, we did not receive any.
Okay, and I'd just like to add that any attendees watching the hearing would like to give comments or questions regarding the application further in discussion. Their comments can be heard at the Land Division Committee meeting. So let's go around the table and ask the applicant if there's any, if you have any questions or comments. We'll start with you, Chris.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Oh,
No questions, thanks.
Jeffrey?
No questions.
I just have a question of county staff. I noticed that the wording here talks about a 300 meter, or 341 meter frontage. Can you clarify the frontage on that, from the point of view, like this is a curved thing, I assume the 341 goes all the way around the curve?
Yeah, so through you, Mr. Chair, this property is considered a corner lot, so it has frontage on two roads, Forest Hill Road, as well as Side Road 20 North. And when we have corner lots, the definition for a minimum front yard is actually the shorter side of the corner lot. So for this particular property, the shortest side appears to be Forest Hill Road. And the minimum frontage requirement is 120 meters for lots that are over 400 meters in size. And because it's a corner road, that's why we look at these two different sides in terms of which side is frontage.
So we'll have to get a minor variance.
So they would, through you, Mr. Chair, have to achieve zoning compliance for frontage for the retained person.
Okay, Lynn, could you read out the conditions that are proposed by staff on this service application?
Sure. The first condition is the township standard that the owner satisfy the requirements of the township personal, financial, and otherwise, including taxes paid in full and payment of the consent review and condition clearance fee. The township will then clear that condition with the county. The second condition will be that the owner obtains zoning compliance for the reduced lot frontage for the retained parcel to the satisfaction of the township. And that the township will file a clearance of this condition with Secretary Treasurer for Land Division Committee.
Any other comments, members wish to add or amend these comments? Chris?
No.
Paul? Justin? No. Okay, I'm fine as well. So the suggested motion would be that we support the application and pass that comment on to the county Land Division. Have a mover and a seconder. That parties agree. Moved by Paul, second by Jeffrey. Okay, any discussion? No good. Okay, all in favor? Thank you. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're done, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zoning bylaw amendment application, none. Correspondence, none. New business, does any member have any new business to bring up, Chris? Oh, no. Okay, and adjournment, Lynn, would you read out the adjournment?
Certainly, that the Planning and Development Advisory Committee hereby adjourns at 7:26 p.m.
Have a mover? Paul, second by Chris, all in favor? Thank you very much. Thank you.